Bro, this chair keep going down, man. Dang. All right, so I'm exporting a couple files. I just recorded like a little mini tutorial thing because y'all be asking what some of these keys movements I've been doing. So I recorded some with no MIDI, and I'll explain the method to the madness maybe a little later in that video. But so on my story, whether you saw it or not, I just posted a guy, an older guy, an OG, and I was recording him. I asked him, you know, show me what you were doing. And I recorded it, right? And it made me remember that video is like 2-3 years old, and I'm guilty, I'm suspect of this. I have a bunch of videos in my vault, whether if it's a concert, worship night, church, a gig, whatever it is, from 2, 3, 4. I even have some that are like 5, 6 years old that I haven't posted. That's why people will be like, yo, I was at that place, or where was this at, or where's the live? I'm like, yo, this video is 3 years old, my bad, bro. But yeah, I need to start putting the stuff I got just sitting on my phone, hard drive, vault, computer. I gotta start putting them out. Besides the point. So how we used to learn versus how we learn now is completely different. Like, I was thinking, like, man, we used to have to go up to musicians after a concert, a service, whatever it was, a wedding, and whatever they were doing, we were like, yo, you was killing it, man. Can you please show me how you did blah, blah, blah? And sometimes they would say yes, sometimes they wouldn't be so nice, sometimes they would just look at you, especially if you were a younger kid, they would just look at you, keep packing their bags and dip, or, you know, they would leave by the time you would make your way to the front of where they at, or they getting some shorty's number and you gotta like, just kind of wait in line a little bit, wait till he's done trying to, you know, mac this girl down and then finally ask him a question. But by that time, your parents like, yo, we gotta go, let's go to the car, but you're waiting to talk to that guy, right? And sometimes they wouldn't tell you. And you would have to say, hey, please, and you would have to, this is the difference. You would have to humble yourself and be like, yo, can you teach me, please? I don't know how to do this, blah, blah, blah. You know, please show me this. And what's even worse is if it was a concert, a service, whatever, and it was a long ass service, you got to remember the move he did during what song and be like, yo, can you show me when you did this, and try to mimic it, or, you know, mimic it with your mouth, or try to play similar to it, whether if it's drums, whatever it was. Yo, that thing you did here, and here, and try to remember. And if they couldn't remember, it would be heartbreaking. But we would have to humble ourselves, ask people, how did you do this? How did you do that? Humble yourself, acknowledge the fact that I don't know everything. But now people don't have to seek mentorship and advice like that. Like, you can literally go to, what's that one guy's name? Speak Life Keys, or whoever it is, C-Dub, whoever these people are. You can just go on the internet and just find HD piano, and you don't have to ask anybody. It's Simon Miller. You don't have to ask anybody anything, and you can just act like you know it all, and you can just pop out with a whole new skill. Versus the closest thing we had to that was an old guy on YouTube or Google or whatever website that was glitchy, with his fat ass fingers and a ring that looked like he had it on for 30 years that they're probably gonna need a buzzsaw to take off. And he would be showing you, and it'll either be, you know, held like someone's holding it and they scratching their hands and doing all this extra and moving the camera around. There's a shadow, and it's 480p, like it wasn't even clear HD quality. There were shadows, his fingers were covering everything. You can't hear everything crisp. So you couldn't catch ghost notes and stuff that they were doing that you can catch on MIDI transcription, right? So it was hard. That was the closest thing that we had, especially if it was compa Piapchake or something, Akoyo, you would not be able to get them because there's so many ghost notes and trills that they're doing that you can't really, you need the MIDI. Like how we see MIDI now, that's how you catch everything. But then you couldn't catch everything because it'd be either just the camera up there with not HD quality, like 480 at the most, and then, or someone that was holding the camera moving around and coughing and everything. So you couldn't, and the file sizes couldn't be that big back then. So the videos were short hits and everything. So back then versus now, I think that's a part of the reason why a lot of these new guys act like they know everything or they have an ego issue or something. It's because they've never humbled themselves. And I want to give a special shout out to somebody right now who I'll say about a few years ago, it was a bass player, Wilkens. I think his name is Sagiela or Wilken Bass on Instagram. I might tag him or something in the video. But this guy, I asked him, yo, how did you do this thing on bass? How to play tritones on bass? And the other bass player, because 2 bass players played bass that night, he was packing up the bass and he was like, yeah, man, I got you, man. And the dude wasn't trying to hear it. He was packing up the bass and he was finna dip. He didn't even acknowledge me. And Wilkens was like, bro, chill, bro, just give me the bass, man. And he took the bass from him, and he was like, it's just gonna take 2 minutes. And he showed me how to do it, and I was grateful. And this dude was humble, willing to, reciprocity, give game back, and that's why this dude will be out of my top 5 bass players in Florida for life, because this dude is amazing. He's humble, don't got an ego. And that's the issue with a lot of people now is think about this. You don't just you can learn anywhere. You can learn on Facebook. You can learn on Instagram. There's literally lessons on Instagram with meaty transcription and the camera. And I even think it's on TikTok. I don't have TikTok, so those of you who have TikTok, you probably know, but it's even there now. Like, you literally can learn anywhere. And it's crazy because we had to go up to people and ask them, teach me, humble yourself, learn some character development, and learn that your mentors above you, not all of them were nice, but you had to humble yourself. And I think that's a little bit of something that's lost now, because I don't have to talk to nobody now. I can learn even some of the videos that I do when I show my camera angle and my hands, what I'm doing. You don't have to ask me for anything. You can just watch my video. It's even to the point now, I think it's called Chordify or Chord AI, where you can have an audio, put the audio in and load the audio in, or just play what you recorded in a voice memo close enough to whatever device you have the AI on, Chord AI or whatever, and it will transcribe the MIDI for you almost verbatim. It may not be exact because it'll kind of quantize things, but it's like you could just steal somebody's entire sound without ever talking to them. Like, that is crazy to me. It will give you the chord progression. It will give you all the verbiage. If it's a 13th, a 9th chord, to add 9, and they do this for guitar, bass, and keys. I'm pretty sure they probably got one for drums that I don't even know about. But that's the thing now. You don't have to ask anyone for anything. Like, there'll be a certain blockade point where you got to ask for some help, or you got to learn from somebody, or pay someone to teach you. But people could just sit in their room all day and not, like, that's the crazy difference. That's all I'm saying is, like, I've noticed the evolution. So I'm in my mid-20s. I'm not even 30 yet. Like, and I'm seeing how different things are from when I was younger to now. And I can only imagine the people who are like 30, 35 plus. That's kind of crazy being 35 plus. But anyways, I'm just kidding. Like, I'm only thinking for those Gen X, millennials, whatever, y'all who saw the whole evolution of technology, like how you're seeing it now. Because I'm a little like, whoa, I didn't even notice how quickly stuff changed versus you guys who probably saw the whole evolution. And for those of you who are younger than me, like, let's say you're 20, 19, 18, 17, whatever. I'm in my mid-20s. And if you're lower than that, then you probably grew up with full technology, full out. We didn't have technology how it was now till we were probably like teenagers, early 20s for Gen Z, right? At least middle-aged, older Gen Zs. We didn't have it until it was like around there. But some of y'all that was born like 2005, 6, 7, 8, whatever, and past that, being born past 2010 is kind of crazy, I ain't gonna lie. You're a real person. That's insane to me. And how old is someone born in 2010? Like 15 right now, I think, right? Is my math? Yeah, about 15. But anyways, those kids are learning from everything. Like, they have people in Portugal, they have jazz players in Europe, they have people from Africa for gospel that they're learning everything from everyone all at once. So they have all these styles available to them like that, and they can just pick and choose what they want to learn, and there's no real character development within that, so they just grab clips. And that's another thing, people learning clips. I'll put that for another video, but I'm gonna just end this video here. It's already been long enough. But just those of you who, tell me if you've learned how I learned, tell me the experience and seeing the change. If you're older than me, you're like 30 plus, tell me how you learned and how it is now, like what the difference is. And if you're younger than me and you grew up with digital and social media like ever since you were born and it's been here, tell me what the learning experience is for you. Like, how do you learn? Not just music, but really anything. How do you learn stuff now versus, how do you learn? I just want to know, everyone, every different generation, how do you learn? Music or anything else related, how do you learn? That's it.
Take it personal, that's okay. Oh, despicable me.